Hi, welcomes everyone for the lecture 13 of a module lateral load distribution as per torsional provision of a subject wind and seismic analysis. So in this subject I have in this module I have taken an example of numerical problem which will be solved by using method lateral load distribution as per torsional provision. In the continuation of earlier previous lecture that I have discussed about the various steps which are involved while solving the problem on lateral load distribution as per torsional provision. So here in this I have taken an example. So problem statement is the considering a simple one-story building having a two shear wall in each direction. In the x direction two shear wall and in the y direction there are two shear walls. It has some gravity columns that are not shown in this picture and having the four walls which are of M25 grade of concrete, 200 mm thick and 4 meter long. Story height is considering a 4.5 meter and floor consists of cast in situ reinforced concrete. RC concrete floor is considered and shear walls are designed for a design shear force on the building is considering 100 kN in each direction. In the x direction 100 kN and in the y direction 100 kN. So the problem is compute the design lateral force on different shear walls using the torsional provision of IS 1893 2002 part 1. So in this picture you can see that the problem is a floor is of RC floor and cast in situ RC floor, and the floor is having a four walls, two walls in each direction. Floor dimensions are 16 meter in a x direction and 8 meter in a y direction, and the four walls A, B and C, D are situated in this pictorial view. So the solution is the given data is mentioning in the problem is grade of concrete of shear wall is M25. So we can calculate the modulus of elasticity which is given by 5000 under root of FCK. It means 5000 under root of 25. FCK means 25 grade of concrete. So it's 25,000 Newton per mm square, and story height is given is 4.5 meter in mm. It's 4,500 mm. Thickness of wall is given 200 mm and thickness and length of wall is given 4 meter or 4,000 mm. So as all the walls are having a same thickness and same length and same grade of concrete, so the cross sectional area of each wall is having same, and the modulus of plasticity of all the walls are same and length of all the walls are same. So the stiffness of all the walls are having same lateral stiffness which is K, because stiffness of that particular member is given by force required for a unit displacement, or in other terms it is given by AE over L. A is the area of cross section and E is the modulus of plasticity and L is the length of the member. So the area of each wall are same, elasticity is same and length is also same, so the modulus of plasticity of all the walls are also same. In step number 1 we have to calculate the center of mass and center of rigidity of that floor slab. So center of mass of the floor slab will be a geometric center of the floor slab because it's a RC slab or cast in situ slab, so the load intensity on the floor is same throughout the span. So the center of mass will be lying at a center point of this floor slab, which will be in a x direction it's at 8 meter and in the y direction it's a 4 meter. So the center of mass of floor slab is given by 8.0 and 4.0 meter. Similarly we can find the center of rigidity, and center of rigidity will be finding out using the various shear walls which are provided in this floor slab. So if we are calculating in the x direction, then I earlier discussed that in the x direction, that center of rigidity or center of stiffness will be given by Ka into Xa plus Kb into Xb plus Kc into Xc and Kd into Hd divided by summation of all the stiffnesses. If the stiffnesses are same, then put the value of Ka, Kb, Kc and Kd is equal to K. So this problem I have already discussed in a previous lecture. For that particular, if I am considering a 0 point and starting point at here, then for wall A the value of x will be equal to 0. For wall B, value of xb will be equal to 12 meter, because all dimension in the x direction is 16 meter and this is wall B is away from 4 meter from this point, so the xb will be equal to 16 minus 4 equal to 12 meter. Similarly, xc and xd are the distance center of stiffness of this wall C and wall D are similar, and these are at 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 meter. So the value of x 0, xb will be 12 meter, xc is 4 meter, xd is also 4 meter, and putting and dividing it by summation of all the stiffnesses, and we'll get the value of x equal to 5 meter. Center of stiffness in the x direction is 5 meter from the starting point. And similarly, we can calculate the stiffnesses in the y direction. So putting the value of all the x, ya, yb, yc and yd in the y direction of all the wall a, b, c, d, and getting the value of y is 4 meter. So center of rigidity will lie at a point 5.0 and 4.0 meter. Now in the second step, we have to calculate the design eccentricity, which is as per clause 7.9.2 of IS 1893/2002. So we have to calculate, because the seismic force is given in both the directions, in a x direction and in a y direction, so that we have to calculate the earthquake force in x direction as well as in y direction. So first we are calculating the earthquake force in x direction. So design eccentricity is calculated in x direction. ED will be given by 1.5 times of ESI plus 0.05 times of BI, and where ESI is the eccentricity perpendicular direction of force. When if we are considering the force in x direction, then the eccentricity will be taken in a y direction. Similarly, BI is the floor plan dimension of floor I, and which is perpendicular to the direction of force. So when we are considering the earthquake force in x direction, so that the BI will be considered in a y direction. So at here, ESI will be given as ESI equal to 4.0 minus 4.0. Why 4.0 minus 4.0? Because 4.0 is the center of mass. Center of mass is locating in a y direction at 4 meter. Similarly, the center of rigidity or center of stiffness also lie in a y direction at 4 meter. So the ESI will be equal to 0 because of symmetry in this direction. So that can be seen at here. If the center of mass in a y direction locating at 4.0, similarly the center of rigidity also lying in a y direction at 4.0. So eccentricity in a y direction will be equal to 0, and BI plan dimension perpendicular to the force. So in plan dimension in a perpendicular to the x direction in a y direction is equal to 8 meter. So putting the value of SI, E, eccentricity and plan dimension into the equation 1 and equation 2, will get the value of design eccentricity, which is 0.4 meter plus 0.4 meter, and from equation 2 will get the value minus 0.4 meter. So from both the equations, equation 1 and equation 2, we get the value of design eccentricity, which will be equal to plus minus 0.4 meter. Then after, we have to find out the lateral forces involved due to translation, which is a step number 3rd, and we are considering the earthquake force in x direction. So in the x direction there are two walls are situated, which are mentioning at here, wall C and wall D. Both the walls are situated in x direction, so that the lateral force due to translation will be finding out in a wall C and wall D alone. So in the wall C, it is given by FCT equal to KC divided by KC plus KD into total earthquake force or total shear force. So this total shear force will be distributed to their relative stiffness of the walls. So relative stiffness will be given by Kc divided by Kc plus Kd. Kc and Kd both the values are same, so putting the value K divided by K plus K into 100. 100 is the total shear force which is applied in the direction of X, and finding out the value is 50 kN in the wall C and 50 kN in the wall D. So one thing have to be keep in mind that if the stiffness of both the walls are same, then the total shear force will be distributed equally in both the walls. So here you can see that lateral force in a walls due to translation in wall C and wall D are 50 kN each, because both the walls are having a same stiffness, so that the load carried by both the walls are same. Then in step number 4 we have to calculate the lateral forces involved due to torsional movement, and which will be given by FIR equal to KIRI divided by summation of KIRI का whole square into F into ED. So F is total shear force in the direction of X, ED is the design eccentricity in the direction of X, KIRI. So as I earlier discussed that RA is the distance of shear walls from the center of rigidity. So RA will be given by, you can see in this picture that this is a point where the center of rigidity will locate at 5.0 and 4.0. So RA of wall A will be given by this, RB of wall B will be given by this, and RC and RD also given by this. So we have to find out the coordinates of RA, RB, RC and RD, or a distance of RA, RB, RC and RD. So if we are considering a one positive side and one negative side, so I am taking this side is a positive side and this side is a negative side. Similarly, I have taken a upward side from this point, from this center of rigidity point is positive, and downward side of this particular point is negative. So the value of RA is located at minus 5.0. Minus sign is taking because I am considering this is a negative terms. So RA will be given by minus 5.0 meter. Similarly, RB is given by 7 meter, because this wall is located from this point is 12 meters. So 12 minus 5 is a 7 meter in a positive direction. Similarly, RC is upward, so that RC is at 4.0 meter and RD will be at minus 4.0 meter. And putting the value, all the value of KA, K, RB, RA, RB, RC and RD, we will find out the value of FAR, which is the lateral force in a wall due to torsion. So due to torsion, FAR value will be finding out by putting the value of I equals to A. So KIRI means KARA summation of all the KIRI का whole square. So KARA का square plus KBRB square, KCRC square plus KDRD square, and multiplying it by F into ED. So the values are putting it here. All the stiffnesses are same. So KA equal to KB equal to KC equal to KD equal to K. So I have put it the value of K into RA की value, which is RA equal to minus 5.0 meter. I put it here and putting all the values, and F equal to 100 meter because 100 kilonewton, which is applied in the direction of X, and ED equal to plus minus 0.4. So we'll get the value of FAR, which is equal to plus minus 1.886 kilonewton. Similarly, we put the value of we can calculate the lateral force in a wall B due to torsion, which will be calculated H plus minus 2.641. Similarly, for wall C, plus minus 1.509, and for wall D, which is plus minus 1.509. So all the values are calculated, and then we'll move to step number 5, which is total lateral force in a wall due to seismic load in a x direction, because we are considering the seismic load in a x direction. So the value of FA, total lateral force, will be given by summation of lateral force due to translation and lateral force due to torsion. So we are putting the value of FAT plus FAR. So lateral force due to translation in a wall A is 0, because we are considering the seismic load in x direction, so that the lateral force due to translation in wall A equal to 0, because wall A and wall B are situated in y direction. So the value of wall lateral force due to translation in wall A equal to 0, and putting the value of FAR, which will be equal to plus minus 1.886, and getting the value of FA equal to 1.886 kilonewton. Similarly, in wall B, as similar to wall A, the lateral force in due to translation in wall B is also 0, because this wall is also shifted in a y direction. So the value of FBT equal to 0, and putting the value of FBR, which is lateral force due to torsion in a wall B, and putting the value 2.641, and getting the value of FB equal to plus minus 2.641. Similarly, we can calculate the value of FC, and which is the force, lateral force in a wall C due to translation. We already find out this force is 50 kilonewton and plus minus 1.509 kilonewton. Why I am putting maximum it here? Then if we are putting the value of plus 1.509, then it will get a 51.509, and if we putting the negative value, then it will lesser value of this value. So we will choose the maximum value, either it's a positive or either it's a negative. So I'm choosing the value, maximum value, so it's a 51.509 kilonewton. Similarly, for wall D, we can calculate the value, or FD value is also getting 51.509 kilonewton. So this is the steps which we have followed to get the total lateral force in the walls due to while considering the seismic load in a x direction. And if we are considering the seismic load in a y direction, then again design eccentricity is also calculated in the y direction. When we are considering in a y direction, then the eccentricity in a x direction will be considered. So EASI will be eccentricity in the x direction. Similarly, BI is the flow dimension in the x direction. So BI value is given by 16 meter, because the flow dimension in the x direction is 16 meter, which is perpendicular to the direction of load. And ESI value will be getting edge, because center of mass is situated in a x direction at 8.0 meter, and the center of rigidity is situated in at 5.0 meter. So the eccentricity will be 3.0 meter. After putting the value of ESI and BI in the equation number 1 and equation number 2, we'll get the value of design eccentricity 5.30 meter and 2.20 meter. So the two values of eccentricity are finding out at here, 5.30 meter and 2.20 meter. In the other steps, we calculate the lateral force in the wall due to translation, similar as to lateral force in translation due to seismic load in an x direction. Similarly, we will calculate the value of FAT and FBT in a y direction, because both the walls are situated in y direction. So as the Ka and Kb values are same, so we have put it at here, K divided by summation of K into 100. Total lateral force or total seismic force is applied in a y direction is also 100 kilonewton. And when the stiffnesses are same, both the walls are same, so that the lateral force is distributed amongst both the walls are also same. So the total load is divided by 2, is getting 50 kilonewton in the wall A and 50 kilonewton in the wall B, because both the walls are having a same stiffnesses. So the total seismic force will be distributed amongst the equal amount. Then we have to calculate the lateral forces in a wall due to torsional movement when ED equal to 5.30 meter, because we are having two values of design eccentricity, one is 5.30 meter and one is 2.20 meter. So we have to calculate the lateral force in the wall due to torsional movement when ED is given 5.30 meter and when ED is given 2.20 meter. So similar to that process, we have to calculate by using this formula and putting the value of RA, RB, RC and RD into these equations, and we'll get the value of FAR in a wall A due to torsion is equal to minus 24.990 kilonewton. In a wall B, we calculate the value 34.991 kilonewton. In a wall C, 19.992 kilonewton, and in a wall D, minus 19.992 kilonewton. After putting the value of ED 5.30 meter. And when the value of design eccentricity is 5.30 meter, then the total lateral force in the wall due to seismic load in a bidirection will be calculated by using these equations, and we have to put the value of forces due to translation, lateral forces due to translation plus lateral force due to torsion. So after putting the value of lateral force due to translation is 50 kN and lateral force due to torsion is 24.990 minus 24.990. So we calculate the value Fa equal to 25.01 kN. Similarly, in a wall B, the value is 84.99 kN. In a wall C, 19.992 kN. Here FCT value is 0 because wall C is situated in a x direction, so the forces due to translation in a wall C will be equal to 0 because we are considering the seismic force in a y direction. So this value will not contribute the any amount of force because both the walls are situating in a x direction. So in a wall C due to translation is 0, and in a wall D also, D wall also situating in a x direction, so the forces due to translation in a wall C and wall D are 0, and putting the value of FCT and FDT equal to 0, and FCR values we have already calculated, which is plus 19.992 kN. So after putting the value, we will get the value of total lateral force in wall C is equal to 19.992 kN, and in wall D minus 19.992 kN. Again we have to repeat the step number 4 because when design eccentricity is 2.20 meters. So if the design eccentricity is 2.20 meter, then put the value of 2.20 instead of 5.30 meter and get the value of FAR, FPR, FCR and FDR. So after getting all the values, we have to calculate the total lateral forces in the wall due to seismic load in a y direction when ED is given as 2.20 meter, and we'll get the value of FA, FB, FC and FD after putting the value of FAT plus FAR, and FAR is minus 10.370, so we'll get the value of FA, FB, FC and FD at here. So after getting all the values, when the earthquake force considering in x direction and when the earthquake force considering in a y direction, so the two values are finding out at here when the design eccentricity is 5.30 meter and when the design eccentricity is 2.20 meter. So after getting the value of when the design eccentricity is 5.30 meter and when the design eccentricity is 2.20 meter, so for wall A, the value of maximum force Fa will be 25.01, and when 2.20, then the 39.630. So we have to put all the values in this table when design eccentricity is 5.30 meters. So Fa value 25.01, Fb value 84.991, Fc 19.992 and minus 19.992 for Fd value. Similarly, when design eccentricity is 2.20 meter, then 39.630 meter, 64.524 kilonewton, 8.298 kilonewton and minus 8.298 kilonewton, and choosing the maximum value out of them, because when we are going to design any structure, we have to choose the maximum value for which we have to design. So if the design eccentricity is 5.30 meter or if the design eccentricity is 2.20 meter, out of them we have to choose the maximum value. So for wall A, the maximum value is 39.630 kilonewton. This is the design value, and for wall B it's a 84.99 kilonewton. For wall C it's a 19.992 kilonewton, or for wall D it's a 19.992 kilonewton in a negative. After combining all the forces which we have obtained when the seismic load in x direction or when the seismic load in y direction, put the values at here. So when the forces in x direction, then the total lateral force in a wall A is 1.886 kilonewton, which is plus minus, and in a wall B plus minus 2.641 kilonewton. For wall C 51.509 kilonewton, and for wall D 51.509 kilonewton. And when the seismic load is considered in a y direction, then the maximum value of total lateral force in a walls are 39.630 kilonewton, 84.991 kilonewton, 19.992 kilonewton and minus 19.992 kilonewton. So after combining all the forces, and we have to choose the maximum value for which the walls have to be designed. So after choosing the value, the maximum value is 39.630 kilonewton, and FB is designed for the maximum value 84.9991 kilonewton. FC will be designed for 51.509 kilonewton, and FD will be designed for 51.509 kilonewton. So these are the values for which the wall A, B and C and D are designed to resist the seismic force of 100 kilonewton in each direction. But as per the clause 7.9.1 states that, however, negative torsional shear shall be neglected. So the value of for wall A is getting maximum value for wall A is getting total lateral force is getting is 39.630 kilonewton, but forces in a wall A due to translation, while we are considering in a y direction, then forces in a wall A due to translation is getting 50 kilonewton. So we have to design this wall minimum of 50 kilonewton. If we are designing this wall for 39.630 kilonewton, then this wall will fail in translation, because the total force which will be active on this wall is 50 kilonewton. So the wall A should not be designed for the value less than 50 kilonewton. Hence the wall A should be designed for not less than 50 kilonewton. So this is the complete question of how to solve the numerical problem of when the floor is given and which is torsionally irregular, so that how the lateral load is distributed amongst the different lateral load resisting elements as per the torsion provision. And lastly, thank you.